Check out Rena Scott's new CD, Take Me Away, at itunes.com/Rena Scott. Hello and welcome to Community Essentials. Join us with today's guest, the cast of Bronzville, a 47th Street Renaissance musical. Enjoy.
Something is happening to me. Something is coming over me. Got me wide awake tonight.
Hello and welcome to another exciting segment of Community Essentials. I'm your dynamic host, Nosakhere, and today we are joined by an exciting cast. The cast of Bronzville, a 47th Street Renaissance musical. Hello, how we doing?
Hey, hello, how you doing?
All right, good. All right, first of all, I want to go around and just get everyone's names. All right, starting here to my right.
I'm Unique McNeil. I play Billie Holiday. I'm also an artist, videographer, web developer, teacher. Do a lot of different things.
All right.
Shanara, the mouthpiece. I play Gwendolyn Brooks in the play and also Ruth in the sister scene. And I'm an artist. I do some spoken word, but I'm an actress as well. Mouthpiece Entertainment.
All right. My man.
My name is Just Flo. I play the narrator and Cap Calloway in the play. I'm also a visual and performing artist and have a lot of great artwork right now, murals in the Bronzeville area.
Okay. Yes, sir.
My name's Jay Thurman. I play Jimmy / Marcus Garvey, and also dance in the play. I'm a Chicago-style stepper turned actor.
All right, we got a talented bunch right here. Now, Shanara, you've been here like 2, 3, 7 times. We really enjoy having you every time you're here. We want to thank you so much for coming back, and not just coming back, but bringing a great cast with you. It's always exciting when you come, and we're glad to have you. Now, tell us about how you got started in theater and just all about Bronzville, this exciting play.
Okay. I got started in theater about 5 years ago, and Margaret Mockty, our director and the founder of Mockty Theater Company, who's putting on this great production, she allowed me to get my first small role. I did School Days, class of 2005, with her, and it just took from there. She coached me over the years, and this is actually my 3rd time doing this production. It was originally called My Black Chicago, and then she changed it to Bronzville just recently. Bronzeville / My Black Chicago is the story of the Renaissance as it happened in Chicago. A lot of times when people are talking about the Renaissance period, they refer to it as New York. However, we had our own rich cultural renaissance right in Chicago, and we're proud of it. We're going to put on a fantastic show. It has different elements. We give you the literary scene, which will have me as Gwendolyn Brooks, but Langston Hughes, Richard Wright, and Margaret Walker. We have the Regal Theater scene, where we have the leading entertainers, the leading ladies and the fellas. Wow. We have the Regalette dancers. We have the beautiful Billie Holiday that'll sing for you, but we also have a Sarah Vaughan, a Dinah Washington, and Lena Horne, mind you. Then we also have the dancers that come in between and give you the story with the dancing and the movement, even in some of the scenes, such as the literary scene, and also with some of the leading ladies like Lena Horne's scene as well. And then we also have different vignettes, stories of ordinary people, as somebody would say, but nevertheless, they were part of that great migration from the South and what brought them there. So Jay back here, who's a fantastic dancer, but he also plays I'm short. Again, Jimmy and his wife. He is determined that his child's going to have a better shot at life, and going up north is just the place to do it. They is going to where?
Chicago.
That's how they say it, you know. And so it's got different vignettes of ordinary people and their stories going there.
That's absolutely just amazing. I'm really, really blessed to just be a part of a great cast here who's took it upon themselves to pour out of themselves into roles that are just legendary, and you can't help but learn something from just playing the roles and the legendary work that these artists have done to lay the foundation for young great artists like yourselves. Now, I'm going to go around and just tell me a little bit about how you prepared for the role that you're doing. We're going to start with you, Just Flow.
Oh, okay. Well, first for Cab Calloway, obviously a very eccentric character from back in the day. I was humbled to be able to do his part, but I definitely watched a lot of YouTube clips. I've listened to interviews, of course seen or heard a few of the different songs. And then his mannerisms are just, you can't just see them, you have to actually do them. So I can be, you know, a little bit outgoing like that at times, but definitely it allowed me to break out of the mold with that. And as for the narrator, I really just did a little bit of research about Bronzeville in the 1920s, early 1900s basically. Found out a lot of great things about, well, it's my own backyard being a Chicago native. So it was just a wonderful experience, taught me a lot in the same process, and I just really worked hard at giving it my all.
All right. Now, Cab Calloway, one of the great pioneers of music. I mean, you got to have a lot of energy, just a lot of just character appeal to do that. And I'm just admired that I'm sitting here with someone who can do that. And when you did that, did you just stand in the mirror and just, you know, go for it and, you know, make sure you had it tuned in, right? How you do it?
Well, the most of the team will tell you it was the hair. I have a wonderful Cab Calloway wig that I wear, and everyone knows about his flailing hair, and to me, that, I mean, it may seem a little funny, but no pun intended, it was just all about the hair. It was making the hair bounce more. His eccentricity just showed, and it was just a vibe. I have a nice loud suit. You got to see the play now if you really want to check it out, but he's just such a life of energy, and it was just, like I say, a wonder to take it on, so.
Absolutely. Love that, love that. Shanara, now, the role that you play, tell us how you got into that role and how you got prepared for that role.
Gwendolyn Brooks is the role, the main role that I have. Well, it wasn't a far stretch because she's a poet to the nth degree. I have a long way to get to it. Of course, the basic stuff, you know, reference, seeing where she, you know, her background, where she came from. Originally, she was only born in Kansas, but she lived here. She went to school here and went to Wilbur Wright College, which is basically KKC as we know it today. And even though she got those basic backgrounds in education, she's such an eloquent, articulate, mastermind writer. And she was here. She wrote for the Defender. I mean, these are still staples that we have here in our community. She was there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so just knowing like that, how sacred that is. And not necessarily trying to imitate who she is. I don't think you do a person justice by imitating them, but I had to capture the essence of
Very
it.
well said.
And so if you come expecting to see Gwendolyn Brooks exactly, you might get your hopes let down, because whenever I've watched her, she was never as animated as I portray her on stage when I do her poems. So what you'll see is her essence, meaning like the way I may walk, you know, and my poise and that kind of thing. But when I open my mouth and deliver the poems, that's tinged with Shanara's style, if you will, and my interpretation of the poems that, you know, that I'm portraying for her.
Well, I have to say that I've seen your work, and everything that you do, you carry an essence about yourself with it. When I look at your performances, I see Chicago in them, and the way that you exude, you know, and just your showmanship. So in this character, I have no doubt whatsoever that no one would be disappointed.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Unique, you're welcome. Tell us about the role that you play and how you got prepared for it.
Well, I play Billie Holiday. Well, first off, I've been studying Billie Holiday because I'm a vocalist as well. So she's one of the many vocalists that I've studied over the years, especially during the jazz era. So fortunately, I knew some of her material and the material I was asked to sing. This play did make me pay a little bit closer attention to her in terms of her life, some of the troubles that she had that led her, you know, in the direction that it led her in. So I had to kind of tap into my inner pain to be able to kind of tap into her inner pain, and also just acknowledging the just the song that I'm singing, Strange Fruit, and what a staple it was during that time era, and what, you know, a trailblazer she was in terms of, you know, being bold enough to sing songs of that nature, you know, to complement what else was going on during the Renaissance period.
Well, that's excellent. I can see that you did a lot of research for your role, and that's very impressive. And also the fact that you're playing someone that's legendary, you took the time to learn it. And it's not easy to pour yourself into your work, especially when you're doing a role that requires you to draw from your own pain. So that's to be commended. Thank you, Unique.
Thank you.
Now, last but not least, you play the legendary role of Marcus Garvey. Tell us about how you got prepared for that role.
Well, I did a lot of reading, YouTube. He was a phenomenal powerhouse. I really didn't know the detail until I got cast for the character. But in doing my research, I had the chance to take a trip to Jamaica, where he was from, and just to hear the dialect a little better, you know. But in doing my research, I really found out how our black leaders really got their motivation, you know, from, because I hear a lot of Marcus Garvey in our powerful leaders of today, as a Farrakhan or a, you know, so it's been a treat, actually, a learning experience, and I'm very thankful. You know, in the past, I had always only played kind of a comedic roles. So this was more of a serious and a turn, but I'm enjoying it, enjoying every moment of it.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, that says that you have a good range to be able to do the many things you do. You dance, you know, you can do some humor, but you can also go after a serious role, such as one of Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just to be commended, because it says a lot about the character, you know, that you're willing to learn about the history of who put everything in place for us. So that's to be commended.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we want to learn, you're very welcome. We want to learn a little bit more about this theater, the founder of this theater. Tell us about that.
No problem. Her name is Margaret Mockty, and she's the founder and the director of Mockty Theater Company, which, like I said, I got involved with back in 2005. Margaret, she's a fantastic acting coach, and I've been blessed to have some of her coaching throughout the years. She has put on such plays again as School Days, Class of 5. She's done The Wiz. We put on Daughters of the Mock, which I did the lead role for that. We also did A Raisin in the Sun. Am I leaving anything else out? I just remember the ones I was in.
Dreamgirls?
Dreamgirls was not through her, so I'm sorry about that. But again, those are big ones. And Mockty Theater Company is the basics. Help me out if I'm wrong. Is not just entertaining, but they try to sneak in some lessons. And she's adamant about real acting chops and on stage or whatever. So it won't be, unfortunately, what's traditionally seen in black theater in our neighborhoods. She wants to make sure that people are getting a true sense of real talent when we go on stage. So you're going to work when you come to Mockty Theater Company, and you're going to get more than what you pay for our show.
I get this vision of Felicia Rashad's sister, the dancer, when you say you got to work on that movie Fame.
Fame!
Right.
Sweat!
There you go.
Right.
Now I want to know about some of the most challenging as well as some of the most fun things of just doing theater and what you do. We can start with Unique.
Okay. I wouldn't say this was challenging, but one of the fun things that Just Flo and I got a chance to do was be part of the set design. He actually designed certain elements of the set, and I helped, you know, kind of put it together and threw out some ideas. So that was pretty fun, just in terms of seeing some of your work large scale and seeing how it can interact in the scene. And then The complicated parts, I think that the rehearsal regimen and some of the acting things to me were a little bit, it was a little bit complicated, but it was a challenge that I was willing to take on. And like she said, Margaret is an excellent acting coach, so I got to bring out some of my other emotions in acting as opposed to just singing.
Right. Now, Just Flow, when you get ready to go on and perform and you're thinking, okay, they're about to say showtime,